Monterrey, Mexico, March 2025. In a quiet, modest home in the San Jeronimo neighborhood, something completely impossible was about to unfold. Mateo Garza is just a 4-year-old boy, but he's about to draw something that would leave even the most brilliant NASA scientists speechless. What follows is a story that challenges everything we think we know about deep space. This is the incredible account of how a young Mexican boy stumbled upon Elon Musk's most guarded secret. It all started on a typical Tuesday afternoon. Mateo's mother, Sophia, found him sitting on the living room floor, surrounded by a mess of crayons. At first, it looked like normal toddler play, but as she leaned in to see his work, her heart skipped a beat. These weren't just childhood doodles. On the paper was a sophisticated star map constellations, sketched with mathematical precision, planetary orbits, and a mysterious object in the center, marked with a bold red X. Below the drawing, in shaky but clear handwriting, Mateo had written, "3I Atlas is coming." A chill ran down Sophia's spine. Her son had never seen a star chart. He couldn't even read yet. "Mateo, honey, what is this?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The boy looked up at her with wide, innocent brown eyes. "It's the visitor, Mommy, the one from very far away," he said calmly. "Papa Elon knows about it, but he can't tell anyone yet." "Papa Elon?" Sophia felt the world tilt. Her 4-year-old son was speaking about Elon Musk as if he knew him personally. But the weirdness was only just beginning. That night, Mateo woke up screaming. When Sophia rushed into his room, he was pointing out the window at the dark sky. "He's there, Mommy. You can see him if you know where to look." NASA has been watching since December, but they're too scared to tell the truth. How could a toddler know this? And why did his words feel so terrifyingly true? The next day, driven by a mother's instinct, Sophia called Mateo's pediatrician, Dr. Hector Ruiz. She explained the drawings, the strange names, and the impossible knowledge. She hoped the doctor would tell her it was just a vivid imagination. He didn't. "Sophia, bring Mateo in tomorrow," the doctor said, his voice laced with an urgency she had never heard before. "And bring every single drawing he's made." That night, Mateo drew again. His hand moved with a frantic speed, almost as if someone else were guiding his strokes. This time, he wrote down numbers' exact coordinates: 23.4 Granquin, 145.8 Goran Puke, and a specific date, April 14th, 2025. Desperate for answers, Sophia posted a photo of the drawing in a local Facebook group for moms, hoping someone had seen something similar. 2 hours later, her phone practically exploded. An anonymous user commented, "Those coordinates match the exact projected trajectory of the 3I Atlas object. How does your son know this? Who are you?" Sophia's breath hitched. She Googled 3I Atlas. The results were nearly non-existent, just a few vague whispers on astronomy forums and cryptic Reddit threads about an unidentified interstellar object. Nothing official. Nothing confirmed. Then her phone rang. "Private number? Mrs. Garza? This is Miguel Ortega from the Mexican Space Agency. We need to talk about your son's drawings. Please do not share any more information online. This is a matter of extreme urgency." Sophia felt like the ground was crumbling beneath her feet. The Mexican Space Agency? Why on earth were they interested in a 4-year-old's drawings? "I don't understand what's happening," she whispered. There was a long, heavy silence on the other end. Finally, Miguel spoke, his voice dropping an octave. "Mrs. Garza, your son has just leaked top-secret international intelligence. Information that only a handful of people on this planet have access to. We need to know exactly how he got it." But before Sophia could even process that, Mateo's voice drifted in from the other room. "Mommy, tell the man on the phone not to be scared. It's okay. Papa Elon already knows that I know." Sophia froze. How could Mateo hear a private phone conversation from his bedroom? And more disturbingly, why did he sound so right? 2 days later, Sophia and Mateo found themselves in a sterile conference room at the University of Nuevo Leon. Sitting across from them were 3 men in dark suits and a woman with a NASA badge clipped to her blazer. She introduced herself as Dr. Elena Vasquez, an astrophysicist specializing in interstellar objects. She looked tense, her eyes darting between Mateo and a blue folder on the table. "Mrs. Garza, you need to realize the gravity of this. Your son has described, with millimetric precision, an object that officially doesn't exist. It is a state secret in 3 different countries." Sophia gripped Mateo's hand tight. "He's 4. He doesn't watch the news. He doesn't even have an iPad. I don't know how he knows this." Dr. Vasquez slid the folder across the table. Inside were grainy satellite images of a dark shape moving through deep space. Next to them were Mateo's drawings. They were identical. "Look at the dates," Dr. Vasquez pointed. The James Webb Telescope first detected the 3I Atlas on December 18, 2024. Only 5 people at NASA knew. Elon Musk was briefed on December 20th for national security reasons. "You're telling me your son drew this on January 15th? Before any leaks? Before any government had even shared the data?" Mateo, who had been quietly playing with a toy car, suddenly looked up. "It's not a bad thing. It's just passing through. But it has a message." The room went dead silent. "What kind of message, Mateo?" Miguel Ortega asked, leaning in. Mateo's eyes looked ancient, far older than a child's eyes should be. "For the ones who can listen. Papa Elon can hear it. That's why he's building the rockets. It's not just about Mars. It's about being ready." Dr. Vasquez breathed out. "Mateo, who told you this?" "No one told me. I just know. Just like I know you found the radio signals from 3I Atlas on March 8th, the ones that repeat every 47 minutes. The scientists looked at each other, faces pale. It was true. Everything he said was 100% accurate. Inevitably, the news leaked. By Friday, every media outlet in Mexico was talking about the prodigy child of Monterrey. Conspiracy blogs were going wild. And then, the unexpected happened. A black Tesla pulled up to the Garza home. A tall man in a baseball cap and dark shades stepped out, carrying a laptop. When Sophia opened the door, she almost fainted. "Mrs. Garza, my name is David Chun. I'm with SpaceX. Mr. Musk sent me personally. He needs to speak with Mateo. Now." Minutes later, Mateo was staring at a computer screen. On the other side, with that familiar, slightly nervous smile, was Elon Musk himself, live from SpaceX headquarters in California. "Hi, Mateo," Elon said. "I've heard you know some pretty interesting things about our cosmic visitor." Mateo grinned. "Hi, Papa Elon. I knew you were coming." Musk laughed, but there was a flicker of genuine discomfort in his eyes. "How did you know that?" "Because you have to know," Mateo said simply. "Because you're the one who's going to build the bridge." "The bridge?" Musk asked, his smile fading. "The bridge between here and there," Mateo replied. "Between them and us." Sophia watched the screen, her heart pounding in her throat. The atmosphere had shifted. Elon Musk wasn't smiling anymore. His face was a mask of intense gravity. "Mateo ... Who are they?" The boy looked straight into the camera lens, as if he were looking right into Elon's soul. "The ones who sent the 3I Atlas. It's not a comet, Papa Elon. You already know that. It's a probe. A test to see if we're ready." Elon was silent for a long time. Then he whispered, "Ready for what?" "For contact. For when the real ones arrive in 2027. Elon's expression changed completely. The skepticism was gone, replaced by a haunting realization. "Mateo, I need you to be honest with me. How do you know this? Who told you?" "Nobody told me," Mateo said softly. "I was there, before I was born. I was among the stars. That's why I remember. That's why I can see." Elon closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. When he opened them, he said something that made Sophia's blood run cold. You're not the first one, are you? There are others like you. Mateo nodded slowly. There are 17 of us scattered across the globe, all born between 2020 and 2021. We all remember. We're all here to help. And you, Papa Elon ... you remember too. That's why you never sleep. That's why you're always staring at the sky. The call ended abruptly after that. Elon gave Sophia a private, direct number. If he says anything at all, call me. Day or night. That night, Mateo didn't draw star maps. He drew a landscape, a vast desert, jagged mountains, and exact coordinates. 2722N, 109.18 feet, W. Sophia looked it up. The Sonora Desert, Mexico. A remote, almost unreachable wasteland. Mateo, what is this place? It's where it happens, Mommy. April 14th at 3:47 a.m. The 3-Eye Atlas will send its strongest signal there. If we are there, we can hear them. Sophia called the private number. Elon picked up on the first ring. After hearing the coordinates, she heard the sound of a keyboard clacking frantically. Elon's voice came back, sharper than ever. Those coordinates. They match our internal trajectory data for the 3-Eye Atlas's peak visibility perfectly. How the hell does he know this? Get ready. We're picking you up in 48 hours. 2 days later, a private jet landed in Monterrey. Sophia, her husband Ricardo, and Mateo were whisked away to a secret scientific camp in the middle of the desert. Antennas, telescopes, and high-tech gear were everywhere. And in the center of it all, standing with binoculars, was Elon Musk. He knelt down to Mateo's level. You came. I had to, Mateo said. You need to see this. You need to feel it. At exactly 3:47 a.m., under an infinite blanket of stars, a light appeared. It wasn't a shooting star. It was faster than a satellite, but slower than a meteor. It pulsed. Suddenly, the radio receivers in the camp went wild. A pattern emerged on the screens, not random cosmic noise, but a deliberate sequence. My God, Dr. Vasquez whispered. It's mathematical. Prime numbers. The Fibonacci sequence. This is an artificial signal. Elon said nothing. He just stared at the sky with a look of pure awe mixed with profound fear. They are saying hello, Mateo whispered, his eyes closed. They are asking if anyone is listening. Can we respond? An engineer asked. No, Musk said firmly. Not yet. We need to understand first. But Mateo shook his head. It's not for everyone, Papa Elon. It's for you. For the 17. For those who can hear. Then Mateo began to speak. But it wasn't his voice anymore. It was deeper, resonant, flowing through him in a language no one recognized. Yet everyone seemed to understand in their hearts. The guardians greet the builders. The window opens. The time draws near. The chosen must pave the path. When Mateo opened his eyes, he didn't look like a 4-year-old anymore. He looked like something ancient, something eternal. The signal lasted exactly 11 minutes and 47 seconds before vanishing into the void. The light faded. A mysterious object continued its journey, drifting away from Earth and vanishing into the vast, dark void. But it didn't leave us empty-handed. Hidden within the radio data was a map, precise deep space coordinates, and a date, August 15th, 2027. What happens on that day? Mateo's father, Ricardo, asked while holding his son close. Elon Musk looked at Mateo. Mateo looked back. In that shared silence, they both knew. That's the day the real ones arrive, Mateo said, his voice eerily calm. And the world has to be ready. The secret was too big to keep. Within a week, the footage of the signal leaked. It racked up millions of views instantly. Experts argued on live TV, and governments scrambled to release contradictory statements. But then, something even more bizarre started happening. Messages began pouring in from India, Brazil, Japan, and South Africa. Parents everywhere were reporting the same thing. Their toddlers, all born between 2020 and 2021, were drawing the exact same symbols as Mateo. They were speaking about the 3-Eye Atlas in languages they hadn't even learned yet. Elon Musk organized a high-security video conference. On the screen, 16 other tiny faces appeared, children from different cultures and continents. Together, they whispered, "Hello, brothers and sisters. It's finally time to meet." Sophia watched in disbelief as her son connected with children across the globe, like they were old friends reuniting after a lifetime apart. A little girl from Tokyo named Yuki spoke up. The Atlas brought the codes. Now we have to activate them. The 17 of us need to meet physically before the arrival, Mateo added. Musk rubbed his face, looking exhausted. Meet? Where? How? At the site of the first contact, Mateo replied, where it all began 75,000 years ago. In Tanzania, the Olduvai Gorge. The room went cold. The scientists realized what this meant. This wasn't a first contact story. It was a reunion. They've always been there, Mateo smiled, watching, waiting for us to evolve enough to reach this moment. Elon looked directly into the camera. And what if we aren't ready? The 17 children responded in unison, their voices echoing with a strange, ancient resonance. Then they will wait another 75,000 years. 2 weeks later, a convoy of off-road vehicles tore through the plains of Tanzania. It was officially a private geological study, but everyone knew the stakes. They arrived at a specific rock formation Mateo pointed out without hesitation. There, under those stones, the excavation team started digging. They didn't expect to find anything. This area had been studied for decades, but after 3 hours, they hit something. Not bone, not stone. A structure with perfectly straight lines and impossible angles, buried under 5 meters of sediment. This is impossible, an archaeologist muttered. This layer of earth is 74,000 years old. There shouldn't be anything artificial here, but there was. They found a small sealed chamber. Inside, etched into the walls, were the exact symbols Mateo had drawn. The carbon dating is back, Dr. Vasquez said, her hands shaking. 75,200 years. Give or take 3 centuries. Mateo just smiled. It's not impossible, Doctor. You just forgot, but we remember. In the center of the chamber, they found a metallic sphere the size of a baseball, encrusted with glowing crystals. When Mateo touched it, the object hummed to life. It projected a massive hologram, not of Earth, but of the entire galaxy. A glowing path stretched from a star system 47 light-years away, directly to our sun. And at the center of the map, a date was projected in modern human text, as if the device had scanned our current language. August 15th, 2027. They've always known exactly when we'd be ready, Musk whispered, his voice barely audible. They were just waiting for us to catch up. The discovery in Olduvai Gorge sent shockwaves across the planet. Governments demanded immediate answers. Scientists were locked in fierce debates over its authenticity, and world religions began to re-examine their ancient texts. Yet, through all the chaos, the 17 children remained eerily calm. It was as if they were watching a plan they had written themselves finally unfold. Elon Musk decided the world could no longer be kept in the dark. He called for a global press conference that shattered viewership records. For the first time, he stood aside and let Mateo take the stage. The world deserves the truth, Musk declared. And this boy knows it better than any of us. Mateo spoke with a clarity and wisdom that no 6-year-old should possess. 75,000 years ago, when humanity was still in its infancy, they didn't come to conquer us. They came to plant a seed of knowledge, consciousness, and infinite potential. The cameras captured every word as the world listened in stunned silence. They gave us time, Mateo continued. Time to grow, to learn, and to discover who we are. They left a marker, the 3-Eye Atlas, a cosmic lighthouse that passed by every few thousand years to check on our progress. A journalist shouted from the crowd, "What do they want from us now?" "To see if we're ready to join the galactic community," Mateo replied. "To see if we've finally outgrown the violence, the division, and the fear that keeps us small. To see if we can finally look past our own borders. And if we're not," another voice cried out. Mateo looked directly into the lens. "Then they will wait, just as they have waited before. They aren't here to force us. They are here to invite us. But an invitation only works if it is accepted freely." Musk stepped back to the mic. "This is why we've been building the rockets. This is why we are pushing into the stars. It's not for resources or colonization. It's so that on August 15th, 2027, we can prove that we are ready to be part of something much larger than ourselves." The other 16 children appeared on the massive screens behind him, connected from every corner of the earth. Together, their voices merged. "We are the bridge. We were born remembering so that we could help you remember too. The seed is in all of you. It just needs to wake up." In the months that followed, the object from Olduvai was decoded. It was a treasure trove of technology, thousands of years ahead of our own blueprints for physics we didn't think possible. But the most important part was a final message recorded in every known human tongue. "When you are ready to stop fighting one another and look toward the stars together, we will be waiting with infinite patience and eternal hope. You are our younger siblings, and every family waits for the day their children grow up." August 14th, 2027. One day left. The world had moved into a state of unprecedented transformation. In just 2 years, nations had begun to collaborate like never before. Resources were shared, and a global effort was launched to show the visitors that humanity could, in fact, unite. SpaceX, along with space agencies from 47 different nations, had completed an international orbital station, a beacon of welcome in the dark. Mateo, now 6, stood at Cape Canaveral with Musk. They were headed to the station for the big moment. "Are you scared, honey?" Sophia asked, hugging him one last time. Mateo shook his head. "No, Mommy. I've waited for this my whole life. All of my lives." The launch was a global event. Billions watched as the rocket ascended, carrying the 17 children and a team of human ambassadors. August 15th, 3:47 a.m., Universal Time. Floating in zero gravity, the 17 children formed a circle, holding hands. Suddenly, the radar flared. It wasn't the 3-Eye Atlas. It was something much, much bigger. A ship miles long, with a beauty that defied logic and a light that seemed alive. It came to a halt 1,000 kilometers from the station. No threats, no aggression. Just ... waiting. Mateo closed his eyes. When he spoke, his voice didn't just echo in the station. It resonated in the mind of every single person on Earth. "Welcome home, elder brothers. We have grown. We have learned. And we are ready to listen." The response didn't come in words. It came in feelings, in a flood of pure knowledge. Images of civilizations among the stars, of countless worlds, and a galactic family that had been waiting for humanity to find its seat at the table. Then came the final question. Do you wish to join us? Do you wish to take the next step? Down on Earth, every human felt the weight of that question. And in that moment, something miraculous happened. Billions of voices, across every culture and belief, gave a single, unified answer. Yes. The massive ship emitted a soft, warm glow. Figures began to emerge, not terrifying monsters, but beings that felt familiar, like long-lost relatives. Mateo opened his eyes, tears floating in the weightlessness around his face. "We did it, Mommy," he whispered. "We finally did it." In that moment, for the first time in history, humanity was no longer alone in the universe.